On that note, I'm bringing in my first friend, my first guy. He was on last week. I love this guy. I mean, he really got my attention, and I got to bring him in here so he can tell us what's really going down. My brother, talk to me. Tell me what's really going on. My brother, Black Panther, new Black Panther. Talk to me.
All power to the people. All power to the people. Hey, happy Sunday to everybody out there. All power to the people. Everybody in Detroit, everybody across the country, across the globe. All power to the people. I'm just sitting here listening to you, man, because this is like going to school. This is like going to school, really getting to sit back and hear unfiltered advice from one of our elders. Like, I grew up, like, my father is Nigerian, and I lived in Africa as a kid growing up. And they used to tell us a lot of stories. And I remember just sitting there because we didn't watch TV. We just sat there and we heard the stories every night. And it's like I feel the same way when I'm sitting here listening to you explain and oratate and tell us the conditions that we're dealing with out here. I'm going to try to do a little bit of that as I talk. Everything that you were saying, like while you were speaking, something kept coming to my mind. The allegory, they playing in my mind over and over and over. And for the people that don't know what that allegory is people were were tied up in a cave. Their whole entire life they were in the cave tied up. So to them, their existence was everything they saw in the cave was the shadows, because it was dark in there. Everything that they saw in there was their reality. They didn't know about the outside. They didn't know about the sun. They didn't know about birds. One of the slaves broke away from out the cave, and he went outside. And after his eyes got used to outside, he saw birds, he saw trees, he saw all this stuff. At first he got scared, like, what is this? He went back inside the cave, and you know what he did? He tried to tell everybody else that was in the cave that this is not reality. This is not the world right here. Like, you got to go outside. When you go outside, you're going to see there's a whole sun, there are birds, there are animals, there are trees, there are flowers. You're going to see all this stuff. Like, he was, like, telling them, like, passionately, and they looked at him like he was crazy, and they killed him. The reason why I give that allegory is everything that you're saying about these black leaders is true. There is a consequence when you challenge these people. When you hold them accountable to what they're doing in the community, they will fight back against you. They will find ways to use these institutions that pay them, the institutions that they work for. They will use them to oppress you. But me, as an activist, as a revolutionary, I am part of a larger group of people called the Rainbow Coalition. Because most of the time when we hear people come and tell us, like, they tell us everything that's wrong with our communities, how the water poison, how there's drugs, how there's unemployment, and then when they're done, they tell you, go vote for Biden, or go vote for one of the Democrats, or go vote for Trump, vote for one of the Republicans. That's not what we do as revolutionaries and as activists. Under the Rainbow Coalition, the new Africa Black Panther Party, which I belong to, is under that coalition. In that coalition, we're trying to create what is called intercommunalism, where people in every different community working together to try to sustain themselves in their communities. Because we don't believe the government, these black leaders, any of these people are going to do anything for us. So we work together under the umbrella of the Rainbow Coalition, the second Rainbow Coalition, with 10 different groups all around the world, and we all work together in our communities to work with each other. We do, as Panthers, our only duty is to stand with the people, to provide survival programs in our community for the people. Our duty is not to go down to City Hall to go fight with the people at City Hall. It's not to stand up here fighting with the mayor. It's not to stand up here fighting with the police. It's not to argue and say who's the reason for our demise. Our purpose is to fight for the people. So if you see us talking to the mayor, talk to anybody, like, you understand we are highlighting the contradictions from what they're saying to what we're doing. Other than our survival programs, we have programs like after-school programs when the kids get out of school, because you gotta educate them. We gotta educate and nurture our children for the future. So we have after-school programs. We have the police program. We call it Pig Patrol, We police the police in our own communities. Everything that I'm saying is documented. We've been doing this for over 10 years. It's on social media. I'm going to give you the social media platform so you could go over there and see it on YouTube and all of this stuff. So every week, we give out food in the community, to people in the community. So if you're not eating, you're hungry, every Wednesday, 12:30, 1 o'clock, you could come get 2 grocery bags. If you can, you could get 3, and that should hold you over for the rest of the week. We help people with their housing. If the city, the state, these people are coming after you, you call up, we go down there, the Secretary General go down there, has an interview with you, find out what you need, and we try to keep you in your apartment or find you a place to stay. This is what we do. And then our most important program, the reason why I love being here so far, because I'm getting educated, our political education classes. See, all of this stuff I'm talking about is organizing. This is how you organize people to bring about a change in the community that doesn't come overnight. It takes time. It takes sacrifice. Sometimes you got to go to jail. Sometimes you got, like the police, these people, the politicians, they're going to come and lock you up and go lock you up for 30-something months, and they said you did something that you didn't do, and the Supreme Court got to overturn it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But our political education is the basis for everything we do. Because after you graduate out that political education class, after 10 months, you know who our enemy is. You understand our enemy is imperialism. Imperialism. The people that you pay rent to, the people that don't want to pay you enough to survive, those are the people that are our enemy. You know who's not our enemy? Somebody that's crossing the border, running away from the same imperialists with their children in their arms, trying to survive. Those immigrants, those people running away from the same imperialists we're fighting with over here, they're not our enemy. You understand what institution building is. Institution building is different from saying go vote. When you go vote, when you go participate, when you send your kids to these schools that the reverend is telling you is child abuse, you are sending your children into the institutions of the people that oppress us. You see, once you graduate after those 10 weeks, you will understand a people, 2 million, over 2 million people under an apartheid system, under an occupation for over 70 years. Those people are not at war with one of the most strongest countries in the world. They don't even have a country. They don't have a military. They don't have nothing. So when you hear MSNBC, CNN, all these big media stations, all these politicians, you hear all these celebrities telling you, I stand with Israel. They're telling you they stand with apartheid. What is apartheid? Go look at South Africa and go find out what those Nazis, those white people supported by Israel, did to our black people in Africa, in South Africa. Once you find that history out, you see, that's the beautiful thing about going to these political education classes. You get to learn all of these things. And once you've learned all these things, can't nobody stand in front of you and tell you people that don't have no military are at war with one of the most powerful in the world with nuclear weapons, people that, they've been bombing them for days, killing hundreds of them, over 1,000, 2,000. Nobody saying a word. People are just sitting there all mum. Then you will see these politicians, these black politicians, the ones in Detroit, the ones in Newark, New Jersey, like Ras Baraka, for who they are. Ras Baraka is having a vigil next week for, to stand with Israel. Ras Baraka, the son of Emiri Baraka, that they say is a black revolutionary, is having a vigil for Israel against Palestine next week. A few years ago, before he became mayor, if you spoke to him, he would tell you he stand with the Palestinian people. He would throw up his fist and put on his dashiki quicker than anybody you know, quicker than Flash Gordon. But today, when those people are being slaughtered, Palestine, he's having a vigil for the people that fund his campaign, the people that give him all the money that he used to pay for all his non-profit, fake activist groups in the city that do nothing but send our people into institutions of white supremacy to do their bidding. That is what Ras Baraka do. And when you challenge these people, because I know the Rev know, but when you challenge these people, they're going to come after you. How they going to come after
absolutely.
you? How they going to come after you? The mayor of the largest city in Newark, New Jersey, put out a hit on me, Captain Afrika, of the new Africa Black Panther Party. You see, I'm not just saying it to be saying it. This is not a euphemism. I'm going to hear you hear it yourself.
More and more angry, and you get this kind of foxhole mentality, you know, and you're worried about the people who are out here doing work when you really should be worried about the people you're meeting with. Because you isolated yourself so much that it's easy to infiltrate and destroy what you've done. The little bit of good that you make it happen can be wiped out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
it's crazy. Something happens. Nobody even miss you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm glad that Negro out of here.
Yeah, look. Also remember this. They use the media. They use the media
all power.
because they control the media.
Hey, Rev.
Yeah.
Hey, Rev. That was Ross. Yeah. That was Ross Baraka in an interview, sitting in the back of an SUV van with a black suit on. Everything around him is dark. I wonder people to really try to picture it in their mind. He was doing an interview in a car, in his SUV, and he was telling the people that the little work that I do, me, that Africa and the new African Black Panther Party do in our community, everything that I listed that we do in the community, all of that can be wiped away. Because I don't know the people I'm meeting with, because, he know, because he sends informants into our group. That's what he's saying on that interview, that the people that I'm meeting with, somebody can kill me and nobody would miss me. You see, this is like a minute and a half of an hour-long interview on camera Ross Baraka gave about Africa, Captain Afrika. Now, in that, no minute, no second in that hour did he say what I did set with me, because he can't say it. He can't say it's because I'm holding him accountable for housing. He can't say that. He can't say it's because I'm holding him accountable for the police, that I'm feeding the community. He can't say that. But he's going to spend a whole hour calling me an agent, calling me all kinds of names, everything that I'm not, just because he wants to dehumanize me. And all that NGO money, all that money that these politicians get, all these groups that they give the money to, they use those groups to attack the people. When they need to attack the people or to attack their political opponents, these are the groups that get this 8 million, this 10 million, because he got groups. The mayor has groups in the city, 10 groups, 10 nonprofit groups, some street organizations. I'm talking about gang members that he brought in, and he gave them a job, and he gave them money, $100,000, $500,000. And now when he says you're his enemy, they're coming after you. You see, this is the stuff that we deal with in our communities. And people be like, yo, there are no more Malcolm X's. There are no more on Martin Luther King. Yo, we out here. We are here fighting the fight. We're out here on the front line. The Reverend did 30 months. What you need him to do? I don't think Malcolm or Martin ever did 30 months. The Reverend did 30 months for a crime he didn't commit. Then he had to wait until they felt like, yeah, you know what, it's time to let him go now. He didn't do nothing. Took away his life. There's a penalty to helping the people, to standing with the people. Anybody that you see that is rich and call themselves revolutionaries, they're frauds. They're not with the people. Because when you fight with the people, the state will do everything it can to crush you. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're Spanish. I don't care if they're gay. I don't care if they're women. As long as they're working for the state, they're working against the people, to crush the people. And all these black politicians, Ross Baraka, the one that you got in Detroit, the one they got in Mississippi, all the, what's her name, the vice president, I don't even want to mention her name, that woman, all of them, they're traitors. The black congressional delegates, whatever they call themselves, all these groups, the progressive this, the progressive that, they're all traitors to our liberation. And once you graduate from these political education classes, once you came here enough time and you listen to the Rev and you listen to the people you bring on, and you understand what's going on in the community, you understand how to serve the people. Because that's where it starts at. It starts with education. The first step in revolution is knowing who your enemy is. And that is so valuable. To, You was about to say something, Brad?
No, I would say you're absolutely correct. You got to know who your enemy is.
All power to the people. And
that is so important because it is crucial. Well, look, you got 2 minutes to close it out.
I'm gonna wrap it up. I know it's other people here. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hey, look, if you want, I almost forgot. Hey, Rev, we had a meeting with the Rainbow Coalition last night. I was at the meeting because we have meetings with the members all across the country. Your name came up. Your name came up for you to join our coalition, and they're talking about how they can make it so, like, how do you figure it out for you and another group. Another group that like with the hospitals is doctors that help people out. Like you and that group was brought up in the meeting as people that they potentially can join our group because there's 10 of us right now in the group. But you came up, your name came up, and I just wanted to mention that to you. But before I leave, if you want to get in contact with us, our Cash App is I Live for the People. All one word, ILIVEFORTHEPEOPLE. Email us. Email at patiencerow, PATIENCERO @gmail.com. You can look for me on Instagram at Afrika the G. All one word, AFRIKATHEG. On TikTok, All Power to the People. On YouTube, All Power to the People. Podcast / if you can't find it, All Power to the People, just put in Captain Afrika Ras Baraka, something should pop up. Because we've been going at this guy, we've been trying to hold these people accountable for over a decade now. So it's stuff on YouTube about what we're doing. But Rev, we have a political education class every Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm the teacher, so I'm going to be there in a little bit doing that. But I'm telling you, Rev, I am so happy that you have created this space for people like me to be able to come here and talk to our people.
I want you to know I got you. And I do have all intentions of joining and making things happen. And I want you next time you talk to your group and let them know that I'm definitely have every intention of doing so. This Sambo of the Year award has taken off and really, really occupying my time. I got this big election coming up, so I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing, but I'm with you 100%, my brother. And listen, next week I'm going to have my Hebrew brothers. I want you to meet them, the Hebrew brothers. They all over the country, and you got to meet them because they're the ones who really helped me with this Sambo of the Year award, spreading the word, make sure that people get out here and vote. And so we can show the people that there's power in numbers. And I think that's my idea of making this thing a success. But look, I got to let you go. I got to bring in my good friend Belinda Parker Brown. She's a strong warrior. That's just my girl.
All power to the people.